On the show, in Wheelspin, we drive the soon-to-be-launched Tata Bolt. In Launchpad, we have a look at the latest offering from Audi, the A3 Cabriolet. And on the track, we bring you the action from the fourth round of the Czech National Racing Championship. What I'm going to drive today isn't exactly a Bolt from the blue, but rather it is the Bolt from Tata Motors. And if this looks familiar to you, then it has every reason to, because this is just a sibling of the Zest, a car that Tata Motors launched just a few months back. This is based on the same Indica H1 platform, and there are a lot of similarities between this and the Zest. But then there is one big difference also. And the big difference is that while the Zest remains a full-blown 3-box sedan, the Bolt here is a proper hatchback. And with the launch of the Bolt here, Tata Motors is offering you a complete solution. You can actually choose the body style depending on exactly what you need, while the cars remain the same in terms of both mechanicals as well as the platform, and even the design looks very similar. But this is a clever thing to do because it helps bring down the cost. Tata Motors had launched the Zest in July this year to ensure that they have a slice of the pie in the mid-segment. And now it's the turn of the Bolt, essentially the same car but being a hatch more compact in terms of dimensions. The Bolt will enable Tata Motors to offer a choice in a segment which is the busiest in the Indian automobile market. Tata has been present here with the Indica earlier and then later with the Indica Vista. But now it's the Bolt which Tata would hope will attract some attention from the buyers. Being small has its advantages. Not only it becomes more drivable in crowded city traffic, but also it should have a lower price tag, making it more affordable. And the Bolt should be able to do both these with ease. Like the Zest, the Bolt 2 would be available with both the petrol and the diesel engines. And what I'm driving right now is the 1.2-litre petrol, the Wwatch engine which Tata has developed in-house. In fact, the engine remains the same for both the Bolt and the Zest, and they give out identical power output of 90 bhp as max power and 140 Newton meters of torque. The engine is mated to a 5-speed manual transmission, which actually does a fine job of shifting and slotting in. And in fact, the gearing is quite tall, so you don't really have to shift even in city traffic. The engine here is tuned more for fuel efficiency rather than for outright performance. And in this sense, I am a little disappointed because the fuel efficiency you are getting is a little over 17 kilometers to a litre. In a car like this, I would have expected a better fuel efficiency because today the norm is around 20 kilometers to a litre even for petrol engines for the hatchback segment. As in the Zest and the Bolt 2, you get 3 driving modes: the Eco, the City, and of course the Sport if you want to drive it like a high-performance car. Obviously, the City mode and the Eco mode will maximize your fuel efficiency, and this is what you should use while you're driving inside the city on an everyday basis. Actually, on the highway, you can put it on the Sport mode, and if you do that, you will feel a little bit of difference in the performance. The engine does get a bit peppier, and the throttle response improves. In terms of ride and handling, I don't think you will have much to complain about. This seems to be quite sorted out. The ride is nice and comfortable, while the handling isn't too bad, especially if you're not going to push it around a corner too hard. In terms of safety, the Bolt comes with ABS, which is the 9th generation from Tata, which means that it has improved significantly, and the Bolt also has EBD and corner stability function, which should help the car to be stable around corners and of course handle much better. And these features are not only something which are very welcome as it makes the car all that much safe, but also considerably adds value and should make this an attractive buy for all those who are looking for a safe car. More so as these features are not present in most cars in this segment. As in the case of the Zest, in the Bolt 2, Tata Motors has ensured that your life becomes very comfortable and you have access to all the conveniences once you step inside the car. And I'm really impressed with the list of features they're offering on this car. Mounted in the central console here is this 5-inch display, and it is this display here which is actually the heart of the matter here. It gives you not only all the information, but it also is functional in the sense that if you touch it, it's a touch screen, you can access the air conditioning, you can also access the navigation and of course the sound system. And what is an addition to this car is the video playback system. If you sync in your smartphone, actually you can play the videos as well in addition to the audio. And the smartphone access here means that you can download all your smartphone data into this and play your favorite music as well as take your calls. Really convenient. The steering wheel too is here typically Tata, or what you get in the Zest, with chrome garnishing and multifunction buttons on it. And the instrumentation too is large dial, easy to read, and it has all the information displayed here very clearly. What I feel, however, can be improved is the fascia here. The fascia here looks solid, it's painted in black, but what I rather have preferred is a dual tone. Plus, I have a problem with the door pockets here. They are too narrow to permit you to hold a water bottle. And in a country like India, I keep on repeatedly saying we need places to keep our water bottles in. There is a bottle holder here, but I'd rather have something here where I can keep my big bottle of water. But other than this, it looks quite nice and quite well built, in fact. If the front looks fresh with projector headlamps, piano black finish grille and a trapezoidal air dam, then the rear of the car looks attractive too, with flame-shaped tail light, a sporty spoiler and blacked out C-pillar, which is very much a designer's favorite these days. And the Bolt sits on 15-inch wheels, which gives it a confident stance. Whether you prefer a sedan or a hatchback, I leave it to you. But for me, the hatchback works just as well because I like compact cars and I'm not exactly in the cargo hauling business, so I don't need that much space. I like my cars to park easily, so a hatchback is what I would opt for. But the fact is that Tata Motors, with the launch of the Bolt, has addressed two segments at one stroke, and that's a rather clever thing to do. But what you as a consumer get is even better, because here you are getting a hatchback with the drivability and a feature list of a sedan. And the feature list is what really impresses me. It's a long list, and if you look at the infotainment system, you know that we're not going to get this in any car in this segment. But what impresses me most is the fact that the car comes with dual airbags in the top trim, and airbags are something which are really hard to find in hatchbacks, so this is a big plus for the Bolt here. In fact, I find it hard to fault this Bolt here. It has got more strengths than weaknesses really. Of course, the build quality can be improved upon, and then there are little design elements like larger door pockets which should again be addressed. But then you get a car which is drivable, which has enough power, it looks pretty decent, and it tops virtually in terms of the feature list. And knowing Tata, I'm sure they're going to price it very competitively. So overall, with the launch of the Bolt, you will get a very useful, practical hatchback, which should be great value for money. The Bolt will be launched early next year and expected to be priced lower than the 3-box Zest. And with the launch of the Bolt, customers will have another capable hatchback to choose from, with both the diesel and the petrol engine options. Coming up next. In Launchpad, we have a look at the latest offering from Audi, the A3 Cabriolet. Audi had launched their compact luxury car, the A3, in the second half of this year. But during the last Auto Expo, they had displayed another exciting A3 variant, the A3 Cabriolet, with a promise that they will launch it soon. And this Audi did last week with a press launch in Delhi. The A3 is a compact luxury car from Audi which packs in all the frills one associates with a luxury car. And the A3 Cabriolet is no different. The coupe-style A3 is a four-seater, and even the Cabriolet has retained the two rear seats. And as to be expected, even the A3 Cabriolet is packed with bells and whistles. The interior sport Milano leather-wrapped steering wheel, dual-zone air conditioning, the Audi patent MMI display for infotainment, and the fascia angled towards the driver to give it driver-friendly ergonomics.
Look, first of all, it's a car that goes into a new segment, but when you look at it, it's really two cars in one. You've got a car that has a folding roof. You can put the roof up and down in under 18 seconds, and you can do that while you're driving up to 50 kilometres an hour. It comes standard with 17-inch alloys, leather, all the luxury features that you would look for, the spot diffuse air vents and dual zone air conditioning that we're accustomed to from the A3 sedan, and a wide range of colour choices. So there's 14 standard options as well as infinite number of combinations when you add Audi exclusive to it.
The A3 Cabriolet would be powered by the same 1.8-litre TFSI engine which pumps out a very healthy 180 brake horsepower as maximum power. And this will take the car from 0 to 100 kilometers in just 7.8 seconds. And the engine is mated to a 7-speed S-tronic dual-clutch transmission. Bi-xenon headlamps with LED daylight running lights and 17-inch alloys are standard on this A3 variant. The A3 Cabriolet will be available only in the top S-line trim and is far more expensive than the regular A3 sedan. And it comes with a price tag of Rs 44.75 lakh. And Audi is offering only one trim on the A3 Cabriolet.
Look, India's a young, dynamic country, and we've seen a lot of young customers join the Audi brand. And when you look at them, they work hard, they party even harder, they love to have fun, and this is the car that'll allow them to have an enormous amount of fun.
Coming up next. On the track, we bring you the action from the fourth round of the JK Tyre National Racing Championship. The fourth and the final round of the JK Tyre National Racing Championship was held on the Buddha International Circuit, and as in the earlier round, the action continued in all three categories of races: the open-wheeled BMW and LGB Formula class, and in the sedan category it was the Polo R Cup, which continued to thrill with some fast-paced and close action. For the Polo R Cup race, 18 cars lined up on the grid waiting impatiently for the lights to turn green. The pole sitter was Kartik Tharani in car number 12, and it was he who kept his lead as the cars went into corner 1. The Polo R Cup is the race which generates much interest, as the cars raced are the regular Volkswagen Polos, which have been fitted with a roll cage and other safety devices to make them race ready. This is a championship which has been going on for the last few years, and there are many drivers who have gained valuable experience. As in the earlier round, this round too was hotly contested, and over the last several rounds there have been different winners, which meant that depending on how one drove on a given day, it was possible to win a race, as the cars are evenly matched and so are the drivers in their skill, and this is what makes the Polo R Cup so interesting to watch. After 10 laps of exciting racing, it was young Amay Bafna who established his supremacy and won the race. He was followed by Kartik Tharani, who started out in the pole position but lost the lead and the race to Amay Bafna to finish in second place. The third place saw Lee Keshav Gupta, a seasoned campaigner in this category and a previous race winner, finish in third place in the penultimate race of this year's Polo R Cup. The BMW Formula race was the fastest of the day, as these cars are powered by a 2-litre BMW engine which are mounted on a light chassis. And the cars are designed as proper open-wheeled race cars with nose and spoilers. As the lights turned green, some 14 cars left the grid to fight it out. This year's BMW Formula class has been dominated by Vishnu Prasad, who had won some of the races in the earlier round. There have been other drivers like Akhil Ravindra who had occasionally challenged his supremacy and even secured the podium. But in this race too, it was Vishnu Prasad who, after 8 laps of fast racing, took the checkered to finish on top of the podium. He was followed by Akhil Ravindra in second place and Krishna Raj Mahadek in third place. category is where many young drivers cut their teeth before they get into the world of professional racing. And as a result, this category sees intense rivalry as drivers try and outdo each other. These cars are powered by a 1.3-litre engine mounted on a small chassis which is highly maneuverable. In this category too, it was Vishnu Prasad who has been the driver dominating this championship by winning some races in the past round and was in line for the title. And in this race, in the last round of the championship, it was Vishnu again who came good and won this race as well, further consolidating his leadership position. After 8 laps on the fast and twisty Buddh circuit, he fended off the challenge from Sandeep Kumar, who finally finished second, and Karthik Shankar taking the final position on the podium.